Hi, you guys. Welcome to Pizza 101. If you've never made a pizza from a fresh made pizza dough, namely the sourdough, I make my own pure levain, no commercial yeast. But this has been made and it's been cold proofed. It's straight out of the refrigerator. So I am going to cut it and we're going to take it out of the package and we're going to let it begin to warm up, and it'll start to rise a little bit. But right now, it's really soft and very cold and not really where we want it to be. So when we take it out of the package, you can just sort of, spread it out like a little disc that's going to be stretched. And we're just going to leave it here and we'll just slowly work at it a little bit at a time. Okay. So I'm going to let it sit here for maybe like 10 minutes and then I'll be back. In the meantime, I will get my items ready that will go onto the pizza. This is really my favorite pizza sauce at the time. This time, Don Pepino's. And it's really tasty and wonderful. And I suggest it if you've not tried it before. So anyway, let's go on to the cheese. This is the one I use, ShopRite Bowl and Basket 2-cheese pizza. I'm sure there's many choices in your area, but that's mine. There's also some wonderful seasonings. I suggest you might want to use Italian seasoning, or if you're not really into all the different seasonings, maybe just oregano. And if you're in love with spicy like we are, we always put crushed red peppers. So we prepare this while we wait the time out. I also suggest that you would get some olive oil ready because we're going to massage the dough. So this is my olive oil. You can get yourself a brush ready to brush the olive oil onto the dough. While there are many different toppings that you could put on, we generally use mushrooms, which I don't have today. These are shishito peppers, which I've already roasted with olive oil ahead of time. They are cold, but I will cut them in little pieces for the pizza as my topping today. But you can do anything such as mushrooms, pepperoni, whatever it is that you care to enjoy. Prepare that at this time. As you begin to massage your dough, you could preheat your oven to 470 degrees. That's what I do with my pizza. There are higher temperatures that people tend to go ahead and bake their pizza on, but that's mine. There are also many types of pizza dough or pizza pans. I like one that has the holes because it will allow the heat to also bake the underside and it makes it very nice and crisp. I'm only 5 minutes into this and I can already feel that it's beginning to soften and it will start to get puffy, a little puffy, as the warmth enters into the dough, which will allow you, it's gonna allow you to begin to work at the dough. So it's not even 10 minutes yet, but I'm able to do this. See? Just kind of spread it out a little. I'd really like to show you here. It's like a little bubble. It's like a little, oh, I'm sorry, it's It's like a bubble there. Oh, there it is. See, it means that the warmth of the room temperature is beginning to soften it up. And that's the life in the sourdough. Okay, we're heading into the 10 minutes soon. I've added the olive oil and I'm just gonna brush it all over this dough so that when I begin to knead it out, stretch it out, this olive oil will continue to go into the dough. Now there is olive oil in the dough, but this will help it to soften and really give it a really good crispness as you're baking it later. Okay, so I'm going to begin to work it and stretch it. Now it's still cold, but since the room temperature is beginning to warm it more and more, you can stretch it out more and more. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to work from the inside out. You're going to keep doing this until you have a beautiful circle. Okay. If you need to, you just lift it and you pull it out. Now this is not a thick pizza unless you're going to have a smaller pan. Okay, and then you're just going to go around the edges and try to make a really nice edge. I don't have thick edges. Myself, I really like my sauce to go almost to the edge and not have a big crust. I'm not a huge crust person. So, yeah. This pizza is basically a 12 to 13 inch pizza in diameter, but you can make it thinner if you like, or you could make it thicker, but if you're going to make it thicker, it will be smaller. It's all up to you what kind of a pizza size you would like to have. I find that when I put the oil on the pizza, it also helps that when you put the pizza sauce on, it doesn't make your pizza soggy. There is a barrier with the oil that keeps the sauce from making the pizza dough, the crust, soggy. Usually a can like this, I could do 2 pieces with, so let's put the pizza sauce on now. Before I add my cheese, I really enjoy the spices under the cheese. We're very hot red pepper, spicy people, so the spices go under the cheese. Oftentimes it goes on top. We put it under. Next is the cheese.
I was sitting underneath that wood.
So depending on how much cheese you like, This is an 8-ounce, but I don't usually use a whole package for a pizza. If you like heavy duty cheese, well, then use the whole package, but this is what it looks like to use, I guess like 80%. And then I will add my topping, the peppers. My shishito peppers. And you could put pepperoni on or mushrooms, whatever you like. Pineapple. In the end, you just add a tablespoon of olive oil. Just sort of spread it all across. If you want a little more, but just not too much. And then you put it in the oven. Set to go in the oven, 470 degrees, and I would check it at 20 minutes. You might have to play around with your oven. You know, how high or low is good for your pizza. But for me, I put it down low.